Okay, we have breaking news. Breaking news. Today is September 26th, and there is so much news that we have to go over. The Federal Reserve has frozen the rates. We have a stock market decline. Uh, am I live? Okay, are we live? Can you guys see this? Is this okay? It says, all right, here we go. Okay, you guys know I'm live. So it's always some issues when you first start going live. Okay. All right. We are back. Like I said, this was urgent that I had to go live and I had to um like really talk about this. So, forgive, the slight delay there, but like let's really get into it. Like I said, there's some major news that we have to get into today. It's September 26th, 2023. Major things going on. It's probably going to be like this video is probably going to be good for the next month easily for October of 2023, because this is some serious stuff that your guys are going to have to, do something with. You're actually going to have to take action. So people are running out of money. That's literally the thing that I want to talk to you guys about, and how you cannot be one of those people. Okay. So we have a situation where the Fed decided to freeze the rates for September. They decided to halt and pause the rate hike, the rate increase that they were going to do for September of 2023, because we are having such an issue. Like we have that I'm really good. Let me get into. So we have a situation where inflation, for example, the amount of consumer goods, the prices of what things cost have gone up over nearly 4% from a year ago. Okay. In just 1 year. And so when you're surveying, the average American, they're like, I'm running out of money. I'm dipping into my savings. I'm blowing through my savings in order to keep everything afloat. And I feel like I'm going to run out of money. And I'm pretty sure you may be feeling that same thing. Even me as a multimillionaire entrepreneur, I'm feeling the squeeze and the crunch and say, oh my gosh, because everything is more expensive. You have shipping costs. Think about how much it costs to ship things. Those have all gone up. If you go to the United States Postal Service, for example, and you look at what it costs to ship things. So if you even have a business where you have to ship items out, and I'm going to talk about that in a second, that is going to be an issue. You know what I mean? You're paying more. So that's reducing profits. Rent. And we're definitely going to talk about this. Like, let's really get into the big issue. Rent, what it costs to live. Rents are increasing almost 10%. They're up almost 10% than what they were a year ago. So pretty much anybody, and I've gotten this from so many of my students, my followers, my subscribers, talking about when they went to renew their lease, if they're leasing properties. Because even I, as an real estate entrepreneur, I was renting properties. Remember, I own properties, I lease properties, I control, sometimes I'm taking over payments. So I stay really, really engaged with what's going on with prices of housing. Okay. And with residential rents being up nearly 10% in 1 year, that's major. I did a live a few days ago and I was talking to you guys about what's being built. We have a historic level of luxury apartment complexes being built. Okay. That is the majority of new construction, is these luxury high-end apartment buildings that cost people nearly 40% of what they make, of what they earn. People are spending nearly 40% of their income on rent. We have to talk about this. Gas prices are up about 10%. Car prices, and we're going to really get into car prices in a second, because car prices have gone up exponentially too. And then with the strike that we have with the the American workers, the UAW, whatever you want to call it, I'll show that to you in a second. That's going to cause an issue. That is going to cause a major issue with car prices. Car prices have already been going up exponentially, but if we have a decline in supply, we're going to see the same thing that we're seeing in housing. Okay, where there's not enough inventory. So if their supply is low, this is simple economics. If the supply is low, then prices are high. Okay, because you don't have as much, so you can charge more for it. It's a very, very simple concept. And then when it comes to purchasing a home, it was at a historic low. We have the lowest amount of people qualified to buy a mortgage right now. So if you are able to buy a home, it still is a good time. And I definitely suggest that you do, because you want to be an owner. You don't want to be on the other side where you're renting. That's not the solution. Oh, I'll rent instead of paying a higher mortgage rate. No, because then you're not building any wealth. You're not getting any equity. You're not getting any of the appreciation. The property will go up in value over time. And so I'm also going to share with you something that's really, really important, because we're talking about the Federal Reserve freezing rates. We're talking about how the stock market has gone into decline, and we're talking about how the housing market is falling. So let me tell you guys something that's really, really important that you have to know. And this is not a secret that most people tell you. I'm a multimillionaire. I started from my parents' basement, broke, bankrupt, bad credit, multiple foreclosures, just the worst situation ever, to today being a multimillionaire with lots of real estate properties, successful businesses, and things like that. And I'm going to tell you that you actually have more financial stability with a mortgage in a financial situation. Okay. So say you get past due on your rent. By the 10th, 11th day, they are filing, dispossessory warrants and trying to get you out of that property. You can start the eviction process when someone is like 10, 15 days behind on their rent. Your mortgage is not even late on the 10th of the month. You know what I mean? You have a 15-day grace period on almost every single mortgage. On 99% of residential mortgages, you have a 15-day grace period. So the mortgage is due on the 1st, but you are not late until the 16th of the month. So that's 15 days right there. But if you're renting a property on the 15th day, they've already posted notices on your door and calling and starting the process to get you out of there. Okay. That's the first thing. And you got to know this, keep this in your mind, because this is a trick that rich people use to keep you renting. And I'm telling you why I have on I buy houses. And no matter what I'm saying with the housing market, I'm going to still tell you, you want to be on the side of owning real estate. You don't want to be on the side of being a renter. You have way less rights. Okay. And it's way easier to get you out of a property and have you homeless than with a mortgage. I've known people that haven't paid their mortgage for a year and dragged out the foreclosure process easily 1 year without making any payments. You're not doing that with a renting property or renting an apartment. Okay. That's not happening. 2, if you have financial situations, you can call the mortgage lender. You can get them to skip a payment. You can get them to work with you. You can get them to, allow you to just pay the interest. There are so many different options when you are when it's your primary residence and that's a mortgage on it versus a property that you rent. Like I said, 10 days later, you're 10 days late. They're starting a process to kick you out. Your mortgage is not even late on the 10th. Okay. So you have so many more options to call the mortgage company, work that out, and you have until the 30th of the month before it ever shows on your credit report. So you can pay your mortgage on the 25th of the month, 27th of the month, and no real consequence. No consequence to your credit report. You have a late fee. And again, you cannot even pay the late fee and just let them rack up on your mortgage if you don't have the late fee. Like, they will still accept the payment without the late fee. They have to. Okay. So think about this. Another major thing with having a mortgage, like I said, if you have a financial situation, most people are so afraid to get a mortgage because, like, what if I can't pay? Well, if you could pay your rent, you actually have more stability and more options with a mortgage when you can't pay, or if you're having a financial situation. Okay. You have more rights. It's your homestead. In a lot of states, they have homestead protections where this is my homestead. This is the home I own and I live in. Okay. And they will work with you. So don't get into this I should be a renter thing. Okay. And don't fall into that trap, because that is why so many people of color don't own real estate, because they think that they have this freedom to move from place to place if they don't own a property. Well, guess what? If you move out of the property, you can turn it into a rental property. You can turn it into an Airbnb. You have a lot of options of what you can do with a piece of real estate. You actually, if you own a mortgage and you're behind, there are so many investors that will take over the mortgage payment, that will buy the property from you, that will partner with you. So many different things, because you have an asset. You actually have a piece of real estate. If you have a lease on a property, who's buying that? Who's taking over your rent payments? You get what I mean? That's not really something valuable, because they're not going to be able to turn it into a rental property and be the landlord of it, because there already is a landlord. So, I see some people commenting like, yes, they see there's actually more financial freedom in owning a piece of real estate. Okay. So you don't want to let some of the negative things that I'm saying cloud you. I'm going to give you an answer on how to get real estate because this is offering you an opportunity. I always tell you guys, as someone that started from my parents' basement, that I'm a multimillionaire today because I focused on people that have property problems, people that are in foreclosure, people that are behind on their mortgage payments. They don't even have to be in foreclosure. They could be in the pre-foreclosure where they're 3 months behind on their mortgage or 4 months behind on their mortgage payments. And it's starting to go to the, going into foreclosure. There's bankruptcy, divorce, probate, pre-probate, so many different financial distress things that you can go after those people's properties. And I've explained this before, but 80% of all of the mortgages out there right now have less than a 6% interest rate. And today's interest rates are nearly 8%. Okay. So you can find someone that already has a mortgage and take over their mortgage payments. Okay. Legally, ethically, you can do this. Especially if they're having a financial situation where they can't pay. Okay. You are actually helping them. You're rescuing them. And you can end up owning real estate that you don't have to qualify. You don't have to call a bank and apply. You don't have to show your tax returns. You're not showing your credit report, and these are all of the things that we do to get properties. And this is the opportunity. So all of these bad things that are happening creates opportunities for those of us that know. And so that's why I'm sharing this knowledge with you. So again, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. I'm going to share my screen with you guys because I want to show you something that's going on and you need to see this. Okay. So 2 things that I want to show you. One is this article, okay, that you need to see. Oh, hold on real quick. Sorry, I've clicked the wrong thing. All right. Give me 1 second. Let me show you here. All right. So this is an article today that came out today. Showing about housing prices. Like I said, we've had 6 consecutive months where home prices have gone up. The average home price has gone up every single month. So houses, again, are getting more and more expensive. They're going up. All right. We have low inventory because even some of the sellers that have decided to go ahead and sell their house, they're not going to lower their prices. They'll rather just cancel the listing and wait till the market improves because they don't need to sell. And many of them, like I said, over 80% of them have an interest rate of less than 6%. Less than almost 40% have a interest rate less than 4%. So 3%, 3.5%, 2.5%, 2.875. Like these are really, really low interest rates that people have. So they're not looking to sell. Most of the baby boomers is who owns most of the real estate right now. People over the age of 60, I think it's 61. If you're 61 and older, you're a baby boomer, and that's who owns all the real estate, statistically speaking. They have the majority of equity in this country right now. So after a period of decline, the U.S. market has seen a positive shift in recent months with home prices surpassing year-ago levels for the first time. So we have more homes just selling at really high prices, okay? And interest rates being much higher. And so the data is showing that it's getting less affordable for people to just buy a home. So this is actually what I'm telling you. The answer that I'm giving you is a better way. And again, I'm on a YouTube channel, so this is not like every single person is seeing this. This is only the savvy, only the smart people are seeing this and are going to actually take advantage of this opportunity of what I'm saying, where you could do a lease purchase, you could do a purchase with the option to buy, you could do subject to, so many different things that you can do to take advantage of someone else's low mortgage payment and get a property in your name, because the mortgage doesn't have to be in your name for you to own the property. It's whose name is on the title. You know what I mean? Who's on the deed? Like, I'm the owner. I own the property. I don't have to be on the mortgage. Like, I can have a house right here and I'm on the title and my husband has the mortgage in his name and it's still my house and I'm the owner of it. So the mortgage does not mean who owns the property. So you can leave the mortgage in these people's names, take over the payments, and you are the owner of the property. And getting good credit and good business credit is going to open up the door to be able to do all of these things, because as we start to see credit crunching down, business credit is still going to exist because it's going to be businesses that fuels the United States economy. And so lenders and banks will still be lending to businesses. They never really stop lending to businesses. You know what I mean? Because businesses are the job creators. They hire people, they buy inventory, they run ads. Like, they're really just a fuel to the economy, more so than giving people credit cards to do consumer spending. So That's the first thing that you need to know. And so let's go to what you can do. How because somebody's asked me this. So of course, I'm going to share this with you guys. And I'm telling you, I think you should take advantage of this, because this is the key to changing your situation. How I got myself out of my parents' basement to multimillionaire status was I started investing in myself. I started going to classes, going to seminars, doing what you're doing, being on YouTube. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Okay, let's go right here. Make sure you're subscribed right now. Click that subscribe button. Click it. Yes, thank you. I appreciate it. Yes, yes, yes. Click the subscribe button. But more importantly, go to growyourwealthevent.com today. Get your tickets to this event. Let me teach you for 3 full days how to use Get Business Credit, make your business where it's fundable so that you can buy real estate without using your own personal credit, without using your social security number, getting 100% financing by getting business credit cards, business lines of credit, business loans, using those as the down payments and to catch people's mortgage payments up, and then start taking over people's mortgage payments and create a portfolio of real estate for yourself. Okay. And again, it doesn't have to be 30, 40 properties. You could do this 2, 3, 4 times and completely change your financial situation. And you can learn all of this in 3 days. You really can. You give me 3 days, I can teach you all of these things. You can get your ticket right now. It's October 6th through the 8th. It's only $97. Okay. Get your tickets right now. Get your ticket. We're almost sold out. If you go here, you can get, like I said, less than $100. You can get general admission, or you can get a VIP or a platinum ticket where you get to talk to me and do a Q&A with me. Like I said, we're 50% sold out of this one. This one's 80% sold out. But again, super easy. And then you select your t-shirt size. Okay. So let me share something really amazing with you, because this is going to help you. Okay. This is going to help you. Getting actually a shirt that you can walk around. So one, you're affirming to yourself. So anybody that gets their tickets, you get your t-shirt. Okay. That's going to come to you. You're actually going to get a whole package in the mail. So even if you just get the $97 ticket, or you can get a VIP or platinum, again, those are where you get more access to me. You actually, if you're platinum, you get to actually have a Q&A session directly with me. Okay. But either way, everyone gets this, gets a t-shirt while supplies last that say my wealth is growing. You walk around with this. People are like, what do you mean? What do you do? And it's a great conversation starter. And then one of the things we teach you is how to hand out your business cards, get those conversations going, say the elevator pitch. I'm looking for, I'm tied to a cash network of investors. We're looking for X, Y, and Z. Can I, do you have anything that fits fits the criteria that I said? Or do you know anyone that's behind on their mortgage payment? Do you know anybody that's in divorce that has a property? You say a very specific thing for what you're looking for. And this is an easy way how people easily in less than a week are walking away with a deal. And again, you don't have to keep the property. You literally can send them over to investors. Okay. You literally can send them over to investors. All right. We have access to getting business loans, even with bad credit, through new lending. That's NUULENDING. So go to Grow Your Wealth Event, 4 words, growyourwealthevent.com. Okay. Go to there and get your tickets right now. You don't want to miss this. Let me teach you for 3 full days. Get your backpack, get your starter kit, get your workbook, get copies of the contracts, the scripts, get your t-shirt. Okay. Get your t-shirt that you wear. And then also you get your book. Your Grow Your Wealth book, simple, easy book that you can read that quickly will teach you how to do co-wholesaling. So you don't even have to wholesale. You can just do co-wholesaling where you do one part, okay? Where you just do one thing. You don't even have to do the whole thing to start getting paid. So on the average wholesale deal, we're getting $5,000 on a minimum. With co-wholesaling on a minimum is $2,500. So easy stuff that you guys can do to start increasing your income. That's going to be what's most important through all of these things that are going on. The solution for yourself to improve your financial situation is increase your income. So people are talking about, I'm running out of money. And that's how I started this live, to tell you that that's one of the major things that have come out of the federal, one of the reasons the Federal Reserve decided to pause the freeze the rates, because they were going to go up again. They had scheduled to go up again on interest rates, but mortgage interest rates are getting so high that it's shrinking the amount of people that can buy a home, and it's shrunk down too low. So they're like, so the Federal Reserve is like, nope, okay, let's pause this for a second. They're getting these consumer surveys where the average American is saying, I'm running out of money, and I might be out of money in October. So, okay, do something about it. Start figuring out how to increase your income. And so many times we look at it wrong. We'll say, oh, well, I need to keep my money. That's not how money works. That's not how money works. Hoarding and trying to not invest in yourself is not going to work. And if you want to have something making money for you, how you want to actually become rich is you need to take the little bit of money that you have and trade it for a larger amount of money. That's what that is. So taking $97 to invest in a course and then trading that in for $2,500 when you do your first deal, or $5,000. That's how you get wealthy. Taking a smaller amount of money and getting a bigger amount of money. But just taking $97 and paying a bill, for example, is not going to come back. There's not going to be a return on that. Yeah, you may get the bill paid, but in 30 days, here's that bill again, and you haven't figured out how to make more money. You haven't figured out how to get great credit that you could borrow 10, 20, 50, $100,000 and just keep that. Instead of keeping the $100 you have, why not borrow $100,000 and leave that in the bank? Or borrow $100,000 and take 20 of it, invest that, and you have $80,000 in reserves. So that's where you have to start thinking. You have to start using your mind and saying, okay, I'm going to take the smaller amount of money that I have and trade it for a bigger amount, create a business, fix my credit, get business credit, get business funding, get rental properties, or even get real estate that I can flip and just sell. You don't have to be a landlord. I suggest that eventually you will keep real estate because, like I said, rents are going up. Rents are at the highest level they have been at in history. Okay. And then add to that we have people that can't afford to buy. So even creating even more rentals, even more renters for you. So do you want to be a renter or do you want to be the landlord? Do you want to be the owner? You want to be the owner. I explained to you why you want a mortgage over just renting. You actually have more freedom. So if you're worried, oh man, I don't want to get a property because what if I can't pay? Well, guess what? You actually have more options with the mortgage lender when you're in financial distress than you ever will with your landlord. Your landlord is not letting you skip a month of rent or 2 months of rent, but you literally can call your mortgage company and get your payment skipped a month, skip 2 months, skip 3 months. You can drag a foreclosure out a whole year and then catch it up and then keep the property. Like there's so many things you can give you can move out of the property and turn it into a rental property. Just things you can't do when you're renting. So you have to become an owner. You have to become a wealthy person and stop staying in that same position that you are and start doing something different. And that's why I'm encouraging you again, one more time, go to growyourwealthevent.com and get your tickets. I'm going to pull that up one more time for you so you can see it, because it's super easy and I'm going to talk about it. And so people always ask, so what happens at the event? Like I said, it's 3 days. So let me teach you for 3 days, starting with, how to create more money. How do you make a business? What type of business should you get? How do you get the EIN? Where do you apply for these loans at? What if you have good credit? What if you have bad credit? How do I do a subject to? Where's the contract? Where's a script? All of that is given to you. All of that is given to you and you have that. So you come a Friday, a Saturday, a Sunday, and then on Monday, you know exactly what to do. Okay. And I don't have any spots in my mentorship right now. My full mentorship is full. So this is a class that I can do where I can teach a bunch of you. And of course, I know if 100 people show up, only 10 of them are going to actually do it. I don't know why it's like that. It just is what it is. But if you're one of the 10 or 20 or 30 that actually does it, you will change your financial situation. You'll be able to grow your wealth. Some of them you will just come and not do anything. I don't suggest that. I suggest you actually learn something and then do it so you can make money and you can get a return on your investment. If you invest $200 on a ticket, why not make $2,000 and recoup your investment? You know what I mean? Why not send me a deal? So again, once we have the class and you're one of my students, now you're in our network. So guess what else you get? You get to submit properties to us because we give the only to our priority. So we have a thing here. If you have a property and you want to submit it to us for us to buy, or if you have land, it could even be land. It could be manufactured homes, RVs, anything that we usually can make money on, you can submit to us. And all of our students or people that have been to any of my classes, they get priority access. Okay. And so this is what you do. You just fill out this, just a form. Oh, okay. Right here, just on newres.com. NUUREZ.com, submit a property. And then, like I said, when you come to the event too, we give you another way just for our students so that you get priority access and we can look at them. I'm flying all around the country, always looking at real estate properties. I have a ton of investors. Again, baby boomers have all the money and all the real estate. Why do we have to wait till we're 60 years old? Okay. You know what I mean? I was a multimillionaire in my 30s. You could do the same thing. I'm in my 40s now. It's not too late. Just start being different. Start investing in yourself. Show up, because that's one thing to buy the ticket, but another thing is show up, come all 3 days and learn it. And then on Monday, start doing it. Start doing it. Get $5,000, $10,000 for a deal. Be an owner, not just a renter. Okay, so let's keep going with this because there's some more things that I need you guys to understand. Like I said, there's more flexibility in being an owner than renting. I've explained that. I think you guys get it really clear. All right, so let me take some questions. Because I had a few other things, but I'm seeing a few questions pop in and I want to answer them. So let me see a few questions that we have here. Right. Okay, so Teresa says, $1,500 per month on rent. Think about that. So let's talk about that. Yes. This is a great question. Okay. About paying $1,500 per rent, which is not really that high right now. Like, it's so funny. That's a lot for rent, but it's not. There's places you can't even find $1,500 rents. You know what I mean? I'm in Orlando, Florida, and $1,500 per month is going to get you a small 1-bedroom or studio, if even. Okay. And in these new complexes that they're building, these new ones, they are not even $1,500 a month starting. And again, that's the rent. Plus then they charge you for the internet, the water, the sewer. So you're paying all of this. You're not getting any equity. You're not getting any appreciation. And you're surely not getting more financially stable. This isn't reporting on your credit report. It's not. If you're late, if you have a financial situation where you lose your job, you can't skip a payment. You can't even be late. They are kicking you out of your apartment in less than 30 days. And nothing even happened to you. Nothing happens to you if you're late on your mortgage, just 30 days, one time. They're going to send you a letter and it's going to report on your credit report, but you could catch it back up and you're going to be fine. No sheriff, nobody, no signs on the door, none of that. Okay. So you have so much more flexibility being an owner. So don't be so afraid of it. That is a part of the trick. That is a part of why they've kept so many people out of it, and so many people of color, and so many women, and so many minorities and immigrants, by fearing, by selling you that fear. But yet and still you can rent and pay your rent, but take that same money and pay your mortgage. Now you actually have more options. You're gaining equity. Every single payment you make is giving you equity. All right. You get it. Okay. All right. So let me go some more questions, because I was like, you guys got to understand this. Do you have to have a real estate license? Absolutely not. You do not have to. This is not even for people with a real estate license. Noelle is a licensed real estate broker. And I'm not actually a licensed real estate broker in Florida. And I'm a licensed real estate agent in Texas still. But I actually used to be a licensed real estate agent in Georgia. So I know about real estate agents. This is not about having your real estate license. This is about being an owner. Real estate agents, they, are working to find listings and to find people that are looking to buy houses, and they work for commission. But guess what? The person that owns the home, when they sell it, they're walking away with 6 figures most of the time. And the real estate agent is walking away with, $6,000, $7,000. Which would you rather? Would you rather $100,000 or $6,000 from the same deal, from one deal? You would rather $100,000, because now you're more stable. Imagine if someone gives you $100,000 cash for selling one of your properties. You could live off of that all year if you wanted. You get what I'm saying? And so you don't always need money. And then you can put this in reserves and you can actually make that money work for you. Once you have $100,000 cash with the stuff that I'm going to teach you, you can turn that into $1 million easily in funding. Okay, because now you've shown, okay, I have this money. You can strategically put it into checking accounts and things like that. And with 3 months of checking statements, people will lend you even more money for your business. Okay, if you set up a business, that's it. So very, very simple things that you can do to start completely changing your situation, where if the Federal Reserve increases rates, you actually realize, for you, like Noelle, for me, it's an opportunity. It's not a bad thing, but you got to get in the game. You can't just stay on the bench watching. All right. Okay. Somebody said, oh, did you hear that a few banks closed? Chase banks are now training tellers to deal with digital currency. I have heard about some of that thing. So let me kind of just quickly address digital currency. Cryptocurrency, I'll address really quickly and tell you guys that I don't participate. I don't engage in crypto. So if you ever see anyone talking about crypto and saying that I told them that, or if they're in my comment section or on my social media, that's fake. I'm a big YouTuber now. I'm an influencer. There's a lot of people pretending to be Noelle, saying things about me that's not true, and saying that it's from me. And cryptocurrency is one of the big things that I do not participate in. I told you, I'm talking to you about real estate and business. I think you can get a business really easily, get business credit, get business funding, work in your business, be an entrepreneur, start multiple businesses, and you can have real estate. And again, real estate can be your business, or you can just have real estate that makes you money. Someone else manages it, someone else does it, but it's yours. You own it. You're getting all of the money, okay? And you're getting that equity, and you're walking away with large lump sums of cash when you sell off your real estate. So I am not into cryptocurrency. I don't want to say anything negative about cryptocurrency because that's just not who I am as a person, but I don't participate. I don't engage. I have 2 master's degrees, one from Penn State in economic development, and I have another MBA, my second master's degree from Baylor University. And I can tell you unequivocally, I don't like cryptocurrency. That's all I'll say. I don't, that's not me. So I'm not going to get into what Chase is doing with cryptocurrency because I don't know and I don't care. I care about business, having businesses, inventory, selling things, making products that you could do, products or services. And again, I'm into both product-based businesses and service-based businesses. I think both of those bring value and you can make money. I don't see crypto is not tied to anything tangible. So I'm not a fan. I don't engage. I don't participate. And then real estate, again, historically speaking, real estate has created more millionaires than any other investment. Okay, 89% of all millionaires have been created through real estate. So you don't have to own a hotel or the Taj Mahal to make money. You can have a few rental properties, a couple houses, a condo, a townhouse. You get what I mean? And make a lot of money. I bought my first house when I was 23 years old. I lost everything when I was like 27, 28. And then I was able to get it back by the time I was 33. And by the time I was 36, a millionaire. So that's what I know. Again, not dissing anybody, but telling you what I did to go from broke, bankrupt, bad credit, no money to, a disaster of a person to this multimillionaire, lives in a mansion, drives a Lamborghini, has multiple businesses that make money, multiple $1 million businesses, real estate that's going up in value, real estate that I can monetize. You get what I mean? That's the key. That's the key. Okay. All right. Rent is not reported as your credit increase, right? Mortgages are way cheaper. Exactly. Okay, so this is Juanita Scott saying, absolutely, mortgages are way cheaper than rent. Folks start the eviction process with the quickness because they want to know someone is going to continue paying that mortgage for them. Exactly. Good job, Juanita Scott. That is the perfect way to say it. So again, why they start the eviction process so quickly is because they have a mortgage. So they need you, the renter, to pay their mortgage. And so if you don't pay, they're getting you out of there as quickly as possible and getting someone else in there so that they can make money off of their asset. That's the game that they are in. And so I don't want to say anything negative about, the landlords, because some of these landlords are not great. But at the same time, I understand what they're doing. And instead of you fighting against what they're doing, you need to get on the side of being a landlord. It needs to be your time to own real estate. And again, you don't have to be a landlord and have rental properties. Someone can manage them for you. You can sell your rental properties after owning them 6 months. I know people that have made over $100,000 on properties they've owned less than 6 months. Okay, now usually there's capital gains taxes and some of the stuff like that. That's one of the reasons we keep our properties a little bit longer, because there are capital gains taxes when you're selling investment properties. So, we could talk about that and we go into some of the tax consequences, but having rental properties actually usually creates a tax benefit for you. You can write off all of the expenses. You can write off the interest. There's a lot of things that the tax code does for real estate. Okay, that's to your advantage. So you're not paying a lot in real estate when you own real estate, because you can write off so much of it that it creates sometimes where you don't have that liability. You can actually reduce your tax liability with real estate so often. That's what I do. So you guys get it. You guys get it. Precious, today is the day I'm going to start feeling better. I love you, Noelle. Yes, I love you too, Precious. TT, facts. My rent went over $400. Courtney Latney said my rent went up over $400. Everybody I've talked to has told me their rent has gone up. And I know, and it's not going to stop. So at what point are you going to make money with that? Why? Don't be the victim of it. Don't be the victim of it. You don't have to be the victim of it. There are people that you could help. Literally, if somebody is in foreclosure, all right, they're behind on their mortgage payments, okay, or they're in pre-foreclosure, they're 3 months behind on their payments, 4 months behind, and you get that property, you start taking over those payments. And now instead of you paying rent to X, Y, and Z, you just pay that mortgage, and that property is in your name. You're on the title, you're on the deed, you own it. Man, you picked up the equity because you're going to pick up the down payment that the person put down. So they don't lose it. Remember, if it goes back to the bank, they lost their down payment. They lost all of the mortgage payments they made to that lender. But when investors come in and we take over people's payments or we buy those properties from under them, we help them so much. We help fix their credit because immediately once what we put as the down payment is what they are past due on their mortgage, in most cases. So we immediately catch that mortgage payment up. And it is still on their credit report. So now their credit is improved because I paid your mortgage, I caught your mortgage up. And then I make the mortgage payments. Like I said, you're tied to a network of investors. So if you ever get in a situation where you can't pay the mortgage, you're not going to be a dummy. You're going to do the stuff that I said. You can literally call the mortgage lender and skip payments or just make an interest only payment. Yes, there's so many more options, or get the mortgage modified. And it's just stuff that you can do. And so you keep the properties. We don't lose our properties. Okay. Since I ended up in my parents' basement, I've never let that happen to me again. Why? Because I learned from a multimillionaire. And so they taught me all of the different loopholes and strategies. So you'll never lose your real estate. You don't have to. You could just sell it to your investor buddy if you ever needed to, or turn it into a rental property, or turn it into an Airbnb, or sell it, or just sell it. Get rid of it. Don't be a fool and just let the bank take the mortgage back. Take the home back over the mortgage. Okay. Tay Marco says, may I be your apprentice? Oh my gosh, Tay. I love Tay. Thank you for saying that. So one of the things that I'm telling you that I'm sharing to you, and this is love, and I mean this is not bragging at all. Now that I am successful in real estate and I have rental properties and I teach on it, you know how many people offer me free properties? Like when I was broke, bankrupt in my parents' basement, I didn't have it anywhere. No one was offering me any free real estate, but I literally have people that have offered me free land, offered me free properties. Hey, you could take over these payments. They send me deals all the time. I get deals every single day of, hey, there's a piece of land. Would you partner with me? I'll give you the land. We just build something on it. Or, hey, my aunt is going on her foreclosure. Hey, you could buy this property and then I'll manage it for you. Like I don't have to do anything. So this is one of the opportunities that I'm telling you exists for you. When you actually know something, when you're knowledgeable, when you have rental properties and this is your business, you not only will you get, of course, properties at a discount because that's what you're sending out letters for, or putting out mailers or signs or whatever you do to advertise for your business. You also, when you come, like what I want you to do is tell people what you do and teach your family or teach on YouTube or wherever you decide to teach, you will actually start getting in deals for free, literally. Okay. I don't even have to spend money. I have people on my YouTube, subscribers, like, hey, can you have a deal? Can we have a deal? Can I be your mentor? Can you mentor me? And then I bring you deals and think different things like that. But it's just gotten so big that I want to share because there needs to be more Noelles. It can't just, I can't mentor everyone. I can't be the apprentice to everyone. I need to create more of you guys. So that's why one of the reasons why I'm always like, okay, come to the class, learn this, do this, and then eventually teach it, because that's what we really need to do to change our economy, to change our financial situation in our community. We're never going to be able to change our financial situation in this country, in our community, if we don't actually own real estate, if we're not actually sharing how to do it, and if we're not teaching one another the correct way to do things. Because historically speaking, if we were not allowed to participate again, or if you're new to this country, if you're an immigrant or things like that, you don't understand the system. And so you get left behind, and that will just continue. especially if the people that in the community that start to learn it don't share that information with the rest of the community. That's what we have to do. But you listening to me, you have to do your part too. You need to come to the events. You need to come to the classes. You need to take your notes, have your pen and paper, and do it. Partner with your brother, your sister, your child, and get rental properties. I'm going to start showcasing different students that have partnered with their sons, their daughters, themselves, and gotten their first, second, third rental properties to show you guys and showcase to you that this is not difficult stuff. And together we are much stronger. We are stronger together than we are apart. Okay. So you can come to this. Like I said, runs out. Tickets are almost sold out. Please get your ticket. If you're watching this, get your ticket right now. Okay. Get your ticket right now. If you have any questions about this, you can call my office, 888-479-4542. You can email us at contact@noellerandall.com. Okay. If you have any questions about, oh, do I get the recording? Because yes, you can get a copy of the recording if you need to miss those dates. But if you have to do your part and start coming to the class, showing up to class, learning it, and then doing it. And then you have this knowledge to be able to teach other people. Remember, everything that I tell you, someone taught me. I didn't make any of this up. Someone taught this to me. I did it. I was successful in it. I started, again, I didn't start on YouTube with 650,000 subscribers. I started just showing people my fix and flips, telling them about the contractors that I used, the budget, where I would get my materials and my supplies, then sharing my contractors with other people that were doing fix and flips. And then it grew. Then I started doing events at restaurants, Olive Garden or Humperdinck's in Dallas, then moving to hotels, then stadiums. Now kind of just like, okay, focusing on social media and YouTube and writing lots of books. And again, if you come to the Grow Your Wealth event, you will get this book absolutely free. And for limited time, while supplies last, you get this t-shirt. You get a t-shirt. When we have them in different colors. I can't guarantee what color you're getting, but you get to walk around with that and affirm to yourself, my wealth is growing. It has Noelle Randall coaching on the back. It's a great conversation starter. And that's what you do. And it's really easy and it doesn't cost you very much money. And then again, once you put up the business credit and you start getting business funding, it all just comes together. They're literally looking to lend to businesses. And there's also grants. I'm just talking about not just lending, but there's tons of grants for minorities, for women-owned businesses, for veteran-owned businesses. There's lots of money out there. So if you feel like I'm running out of money, invest in yourself, come to class and learn where to get more money. That's the key. Okay. There's this guy, his name is Wilbur Ross. Okay. And Wilbur Ross was with the Trump administration. And during the pandemic, a lot of people were having issues, obviously paying their bills, eating, things were hard for them. And there was a guy talking about how he had to go to the food bank for food. And Wilbur Ross said, why are you going to a food bank? Just go to a bank. And people were outraged that he said this. And then I am not a Trump administration fan or anything like that. But I ain't gonna lie. I was like, that's spot on, because he's telling you the answer. And I know it seems insensitive, but instead of going to a food bank and getting some food to eat one time, then once that food is gone, you have nothing else to eat. Go to a bank, not a food bank. Go to a bank and go get $100,000 and then buy your groceries and then use that money to buy inventory and then sell something, or use it for ads so that you can grow your business or get more clients, or like do the thing that will make you more money. And that's what this is. When I'm saying, okay, you're short on cash. Okay, I don't have room in my mentorship, $10,000, $20,000 for mentorship. People can't afford that. I get it. Come to a class for $97 or $197, get that same information and then do it. Now you won't have Noelle as you're not my apprentice at that point where I'm walking you through and I'm able to see your deals, but you're able to do this by yourself. You are. I did deals by myself and then I got a coach. Okay. And I did have to invest in myself even when I had no money, but that's why I'm rich today. It's going to take you investing in you. You're not making someone else rich. That's something I often hear, and that's completely wrong. Oh, I don't want to pay you $97. Noelle, you're already rich. Well, how are you going to get information from a rich person if you don't actually go to an inexpensive class? You think I could just teach everyone for free? I can't. That's what YouTube is for. I actually do teach you a lot for free. I have a 1,000 videos on YouTube teaching you how to do things. But the difference between the YouTube videos and the Grow Your Wealth event is the workbook, the contracts, the scripts, the one-on-one, and especially if you upgrade, you get the Q&A with me. So you get to ask your very specific question and get a specific answer so that you can take action on it. Because a lot of times what slows us down and what stops us is we have a question and we don't know the answer. And sometimes if you Google it, you get a general answer. You know what I mean? Or if you go to YouTube, you get a general answer. You don't get your specific answer for you, like where you are in the country, what city you live in, how much money you have, what credit score, that type of thing. So you don't get an answer that's directly for you. But when you come to class, you raise your hand, you get to ask your question for you. You get to say, I'm in Kansas City, Missouri, and I have X, Y, and Z. So the answer is specific to you. So that's the difference. And that's why you want to invest. That's it. You want to invest in you. You're going to have to invest in you if you want to change your personal wealth and your personal situation. So go right now, growyourwealthevent.com right now. Let me see who got their ticket. I see people are just like, I got my ticket inside of there. So just do it. Yes. Okay. See, here we go. I see it already. I love it. Era Vanderpool. I have 2 land properties in the Virgin Islands. Interested in partnering if interested. These are the types of deals I get all the time. This is the type of stuff that I need help with. This is why I'm saying I want you guys to do this, because I can't do all of the deals that I get. I cannot. So I get a network of you guys. And so some of the times it's my students that partner on deals. Sometimes I am involved in the deal, where I'm one of the people and it's 4 or 5 of the students. Okay. Because a lot of times, yes, I love you guys so much on YouTube, but a lot of times people just watch the videos. They have no interest in actually doing any of it. But if you come to the events and or come to a class, I know you're serious. And now we can actually partner and do something. And that's where the money is. That's where the money is, actually doing something, not just talking about it. So I'm looking to JV, Karen, right here, Karen Patterson. I'm looking to JV with people to get some deals done this year. George Soto. So you're saying banks are still giving out loans up to $100,000, even if you have bad credit, and making $33 a year. How? This is what I'm saying. Come to class, George Soto. Come to class, because it's not about how much money you make currently. You're thinking of the personal loans, like a personal loan. So yeah, if you go to apply to Discover or, Bank of America for a personal loan, yeah, they're going to look at, oh, you only make this amount of money? That's it. And that's all you know. But did you know that there's 1,000 lenders that lend to startup businesses? Okay. And yes, the interest rates may be higher, but they will only use like your business checking account statements, for example, or PayPal has loans. So you just set up a PayPal merchant processing account, you attach it to your business, you accept a few credit cards, because again, when we turn on our marketing, let me give you a quick and easy way on one of the things that we do to start making money and monetizing all of our leads. So say you are in your area and you're looking for X, Y, and Z, but you get other leads in. Well, guess what? Since you have a business, you can sell those leads as marketing fees. So usually you can't, so say you get a nice house and it's a nice neighborhood and you cannot wholesale it. It doesn't need to be fixed and flipped. It's just a nice house and they need to just list it with a realtor because they want retail prices for it. Well, guess what? You still should make money off of that. You have a company, you market it, you got that lead in. You have someone that has raised their hand because they called you and said, I want to sell my house, just not to you because you want to buy it for pennies on the dollar. And I have a really nice house and it should be with a real estate agent. Great. You sell that lead to a real estate agent and charge them a marketing fee. Now, real estate agents can't pay referral fees, but they can pay marketing fees business to business. And so that's how we'll monetize our lead. So you didn't even do anything and you got paid $500 for that lead. Same, but and so simple things like that, but you have to actually have a business. And so those are some of the things that we do to get you going. All right. And then again, you're partnering with people that have a lot of money. So there's different things that you may bring a property and then boom, here's your first check for $5,000. And now the bank saw that you received something. So now guess what? They'll lend you $20,000 because wow, you made $5,000 in a month. I'll easily lend you $20,000. Boom. Now you spend $200 or $300 on marketing to find more of those $5,000 deals, and you're able to multiply that. So stop looking and thinking. That's why I said that so much of the information has been hidden from us where we don't understand and we just think, oh, we can't do it. But if I'm telling you I was able to do real estate deals, bankrupt, bad credit, living in a basement with no money and no job. How do you think I did that? I put out signs. I sent out letters. I did like some door hangers. I spent like maybe $200. All right. And walked away with a $5,000 deal. Then I partnered with my coach. In my first deal, I made $17,000 on our flip. And I did not have to get any of the hard money loan. I did not have to pay any of the mortgage payments. He did a fix and flip, made like 80 something $1,000. And then my cut was 17,000. So it's those type of things. So it's not just having a business, but again, doing something with it. But you have to set yourself up and get out of this rat race that we're in, where I have to work a job for money. That's not it. And if you make $33,000 per year, what's your plan to make $80,000 a year? Are you going to just keep doing the same thing? You're just going to keep getting the same result. So at what point are you going to say, I can increase my income? Because I know that you can. I know I've made $30,000 in a year. Now I make $30,000 in a week. Okay. And there's people that make $30,000 a day. I have friends that they would like go crazy if they only made $30,000 in a day with their business. You get what I mean? So it just grows, but you have to see something bigger for yourself too. You can't say and think that where I am today is where I'm always going to be. There are plenty of banks that are lending to businesses, not to you personally. You know, you make $30,000 a year and then you go to the bank and say, give me $100,000. Maybe they won't. Again, that's not even true. I actually do know banks that if your debt ratio works, you're getting $100,000. So, thank you. Andrew says, you are so beautiful, Noelle. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Tiffany Johnson, is hard money loans good or bad if not able to do conventional or FHA? Hard money loans are for fix and flips, plain and simple. So are they good or bad? No, they're good. They're necessary. But it depends on the deal. You got to know the deal. You know what I mean? And so we do combine. We still do hard money loans. So to answer your question, plain and simple, they are not good or bad, but they are for fix and flips. If you can do a conventional or FHA loan, that's what you would do, because then you could do a hard money loan later. But if you could easily get a loan with just 3% down, like a conventional or FHA loan, do that. Okay, do that. Even if you have to move into the property as your primary residence, you can later turn that into your first rental property. Because remember, I want to say it's 87% of all landlords, they turned their first property that they lived in to a rental property. So for most of us, that's how we start. The house that we live in is our first rental property, you know? So but the difference is, if you don't have any real estate now, think about the benefit that you have over other people. You know that you're going to make that into a rental property, or you know that you're going to sell it in a couple of years and then get, 3 or 4 more properties. So you're going to buy that property differently. You're going to be thinking about some of the things that I'm going to teach you about highly appreciating areas. Okay, not worrying necessarily about, I needed to be near my kid's school, or I needed to be near my job, silly stuff like that is not how you're going to be buying the house. You're going to be buying the house with the intention that I'm going to either make this my first rental property, or I'm going to sell it in a year or two. And so I need it to go up in value. So I'm making at least $100,000 like that. So Tiffany, great question. Love it. TJ, if I'd like to join your community, but you or anyone's interested in open partnering on current deals. So T Lloyd, like I said, I need to get to know you. So that's why I'm again, growyourwealthevent.com. That's a great way for me to get to actually know you and you know me, because one of the things that is going to be important for our partnership, people want to partner with you when they don't know you. You got to get to know me. Let me teach you what kind of deals I like, what kind of deals we do, how we do them. Let you see the contracts that I use. You get what I'm saying? So that we can actually partner. You can't partner with someone you don't know. It's just like getting married to somebody you've never met before. You can't. I mean, you can. There's some show on Netflix, I think, where they do that. They marry people that they've never met, but I don't think that works so good. And so mentorship, apprenticeship, partnering, JV deals, that requires a lot of trust. And I need to be able to trust you. I need to know that you've learned, that you will show up to class, that you will do the things that I say, that you're competent person, a good person with a good heart too. That's another thing. I'm at a point in my career, I'm getting deals and clients that are celebrities, that are athletes, that are actors that want to build their rental portfolio. So that's a great opportunity for you watching this, that you could learn this and bring deals. And I already have people that make millions of dollars per year, but they want to diversify their asset, because even if you're an actor, an athlete, especially a lot of the athletes that I get, but that play football, they don't have a long career. So they get a lot of money in this short amount of time. They have to buy real estate. And I think the athletes of today are so much smarter than before. Like the LeBron Jameses and all that, they have, and not that LeBron James is my client, but they're just so much smarter. So the people that are getting drafted, they're immediately buying real estate or wanting to buy real estate. So a lot of times my students and things like that, we're able to find deals for them. And I'm just passing them over to them. You get paid, they get a property, they get to go play basketball or football or do what they do that makes them a lot of money, and they're growing their wealth. So when they retire, they have a portfolio. They're able to do the Magic Johnson thing. They're able to do, where they have a lot of money. Chris Webber, you know what I mean? They bought things, they bought businesses, they bought real estate. So if these are the same people that are doing that, you got to know that's what you should be doing too. You're not probably going to be able to do it at their level. They're able to get a deal for 5 million and take $1 million and just buy real estate with it. You can't do that. So what? Can't do that today, but you will be able to do that in 3 years or 4 years, because you will grow, because you're going to start right now and get 5,000 and 10,000 and turn that 10,000 into 20 and turn that 20 into 40. That's how the game works. But you can't be so afraid to get started thinking, oh man, I got a low credit score and I don't have a lot of money. That's where I was. And now today I'm not there. So it's better to just jump in and start doing it. But again, educate yourself, because you can. Marcus Walker says, I'm asking about land because I'm in the area that's growing, but the land is not a full acre. I mean, and it doesn't have to be. Did you know with 1 acre of land, you can get about 44 townhouses on that 1 acre? Think about that. So let's even go half. Say you take 1 acre of land and you can get 20 properties on that. And you sell, and the average home price right now is $400,000. So what's 400 times 20? You get the math? That's 8 million, actually. Oh my gosh, right? Did I do that right? That's right. Because I said the average price is 400,000. Yeah, so the average home price, so 20 times $400,000 is $8 million. That's why I said it doesn't take a lot to change your whole financial situation. It doesn't. Now, again, you're not going to make $400,000 in profit, because obviously there's a cost to building a home, but you can build a $400,000 house for less than $100,000. So even if the profit was $300,000 plus the land acquisition cost and say a few other things, say it was just $300,000. Let's even go lower. Let's say 250, because you have your permitting and a few other things that goes into building. So say you just build, again, 20 and your profit is $250,000. That's $5 million. So that's one development that you did of less than, of 1 acre. So even if you have a half an acre, you can get 10, 20 properties on that. Well, if you have a half an acre, you probably could get 10, 20 townhomes on that. So there's a lot to be said, but I do want to caution you, because I'm doing some new construction and some new development now, and I'm just here talking. I'm actually not, I have an appointment to go actually see 6 condos. So I'm not actually going to the gym or anything like that. So I'm just up here talking a little bit longer. There's two of the most riskiest things in real estate, obviously, are fixing and flipping, because you have the renovation and the rehab. And then once you start getting into, pulling down sheetrocks and things like that, other expenses could come up. So it's easy to blow your budget on a fix and flip. That's why it's one of the more riskier things, but that's why it makes more money than wholesaling or, some of the other things. But the other risky venture in real estate is new construction. It's probably the riskiest, because your financing payments starts kind of immediately. So before you ever have the finished developed townhouse, for example, so say you buy an acre, you have to clear the land, get the trees off of it, you have to get utilities installed, you have to get roads installed. So you have these expenses that have started and things that need to be done, and you're making payments, but you don't have anything to sell. You don't have a townhouse or a house to sell. So that is why new construction for the most part right now is controlled by these large corporations, these big groups. So until you kind of get your money up to the $5 million, $10 million range, that's not the sandbox you really should be playing in. There's better opportunities for you to get money faster than building a new construction townhouse development. But with a group of people, kind of, what is the word I want to say? Like we're spreading out the risk. You know what I mean? If there's 10 of us, all the risk is not on me. I have 9 other people that I can depend on if one of them can't make their portion of the payment, for example. So that's why it's the large corporations or groups of investors that are doing development, because again, it's the most riskiest, but it is one of the most profitable, because again, you can make a lot of money. And then 2, you don't have to sell off all of the properties that you build. You literally can keep some of them and just turn them into rental properties for yourself, or do what D.R. Horton is doing, do rent to owns with people, because that is how you get to sell. This is a big secret. Let me tell y'all a big secret. This is how they get to sell the same house over and over again. And I did this, and this is one of my ways to wealth. So say you do a fix and flip. All right. You fix up the property and you sell it to someone, and you don't just sell it traditionally. You sell it to someone that has bad credit. Okay. You sell it to someone that has bad credit, and they do a rent to own with you. So they have to give you a down payment. They're not giving you a security deposit. They're giving you a down payment, and that is non-refundable. So say they give you $10,000, $20,000 as their down payment, and then they default on the mortgage. You then take that property back and then you resell it. So you get to sell the same house over and over again, because that happens all the time. That's a really big secret. So that's why D.R. Horton did it, because they know, statistically speaking, how many of the people are going to default. And then again, it's a rent to own. They are renting, so they don't have the same rights that I told you about earlier. That's why it's better to just take the risk and get the mortgage. I know it's a process getting a mortgage, and it can be annoying giving them different pay stubs and W-2s and all these other things to get a conventional or FHA loan. This is what I'm talking about, just a regular traditional loan. This is what I'm talking about right now. That is actually better than doing a rent to own, because you're still a renter, you're still a tenant, and you don't have those rights. You could still get evicted after 10 days. And then instead of losing, your security deposit, you gave them a down payment. So you lost $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. And then they got to resell that house again to someone else and do the whole thing again. And that is literally some of the things that happens. And you can do it. You can be on the other side. You don't have to be the victim of that. You actually can be the one that sells your same house over and over again. if that's the business that you want to be in. Again, I'm not really into that anymore, but it is one of the ways, I'm not going to lie to you, that I grew my wealth, was doing fix and flips. And then I would do a rent to own with people. Instead of selling it outright and getting all of my money up front, I would do a rent to own, and I would end up being able to sell that house 3 times over before it actually sold to someone that could make the mortgage payments or finished out the period of 12 or 20, because usually like 24 months of payments, or 12 months at a minimum. So then they could refinance the property into their own name. So many of the people would default, and then they lost their down payment, and then lost all the payments they made. The house came back to me, and I just resold it again. So there you go. Fun stuff. One more time before I go. Stephanie Howell said, wow. Right. And so that's why a lot of the lenders and the builders, I should say, started doing rent to own, because it's super profitable. It's like cars. You've seen buy here, pay here's for cars. Why they love doing that is because usually the down payment that you give them is the entire cost of the car. So they'll say, this car is $10,000. You give me $2,000 down, and then you pay me $500 a week. Well, guess what? The $2,000 was all the car was worth. So when you handed them the down payment, you paid for the car, and any payments that you made are all gravy for them. That's all just profit. And then statistically speaking, within 1 year, they're repossessing that car and selling it to someone else and doing the same thing over again. So they're able so like a lot of times with buy here, pay here's, they sell that same car over and over again. But part of it is because they gave you the car, buy here, pay here, but they never gave you any education. Like, here's how you actually should manage your finances. Here's how you can fix your credit. Here's how you get what I mean? So that it's a system that you really just don't want to get into. You just would only want to be the person doing it. You wouldn't want to be on the other side of it. So MK Michelle says, how do you feel about subject to? I love subject to. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. This is one of the things I'm going to teach you at the Grow Your Wealth event. That is how I got so many properties, because you find someone, and I explained it so simply. People that are behind on their mortgage payments are the easiest people to pitch to for subject to, because they're about to go into foreclosure, meaning the bank is going to take the house back. They're going to lose their down payment. They're going to lose the equity they have. They're going to lose all of the mortgage payments that they make. But if I come along, I come to them and I say, I'm the investor, I'm going to do subject to. I'm going to buy this house from you, subject to the existing financing staying in place, meaning you leave the mortgage in place and I'm going to pay it. And we write a separate agreement where I pay the mortgage. And again, I negotiate if I want to keep that mortgage in their name for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. You get to negotiate that with them. And then when I give them the down payment, that goes directly to the mortgage lender to catch their mortgage payments up. So now their credit is fixed. So I help them. That's why I said you help people with subject to. It is such a helpful thing. It's not just this vulture, shark, attack the vulnerable thing. It really is, let's partner and let's work together. I'm going to help you and you're going to help me. I'm going to get a rental property that I don't have to go to a bank for. I don't have to put a down payment for. I don't have to show my tax returns for. And I'm going to help you fix your credit because I got this business line of credit right here. I got these people. I'm going to turn this into an Airbnb or a rental property. You're going to get the hell out the property and I'm going to help you fix your credit and we're going to partner together. And then I've helped you fix your credit. And then in a year or two, when I sell that mortgage, when I sell that property, that's when their mortgage is paid off. So it's such a simple concept that has been around. Again, I learned about subject to in 2009 from a 70-something-year-old man, or he was like almost 70. And he had been doing it for 40 years. So this is not anything new. This is not new. It's just most of us just did not know it existed. And surely most of us didn't know how to actually do it. And so if you come to the Grow Your Wealth event, I will teach you some more of this. You'll actually get the contract. We'll go over it. You can ask your questions. It's going to be able to empower you so that you can actually do it. And again, you can do it over and over and over again. It's not something that you have to do just one time. You could do it over and over and over again. So go to growyourwealthevent.com. If you are interested in subject to, if you're interested in getting business credit, getting business funding, fixing your personal credit, if you're interested in Airbnbs, how I'm able to make $1,000, $1,500 per month in profit off of one property that I don't own, then come to the Grow Your Wealth event, okay? Because that is what you can do. And that's one of the things that I'm going to teach you. One of the things, that's why I said it's 3 days. It starts, so Friday evening, it's all day Saturday, and it's like 2 hours, like a brunch on Sunday, okay? And if you upgrade to the platinum tickets, okay, the platinum admission, you actually get a group Zoom call with just me and the platinum people. Okay, so you can ask your questions. All right, so super easy. But then again, even if you're like, okay, I don't have that, I just got the $97, do that. Invest in yourself. Start learning, doing, so that you can increase your income. Okay, you don't have to spend a lot to make a lot, but you can spend a little and make a lot of money. You really can. I did. So I know that you can, but you got to invest in you. You got to take the time. And I'm not saying just spend $97. I'm saying invest the time, show up, invest the effort, do it. Okay. So you're going to have to invest in you. All right. If you want to change your life, you got to change your life. That's one of the things my mentor told me, and I'm going to always share that with you. To change your life, you got to change your life. If you want to get out of your parents' basement, you can't keep seeing yourself as a person that's broke and living in a basement. You have to see yourself as something different, something better, and know that a lot of the opportunities are there, and a lot of the barriers that used to stop us are not there anymore. So there's no more excuses. You cannot keep making the same excuses. Like, I remember I used to say, oh, they don't lend to Black people, and oh, they don't lend to women. And that's not true. I'm telling you that there are grants, not even loans, but just grants, people giving you money. And I've actually had students, because my business makes a little bit too much now. But if you make less than $1 million per year as a woman-owned business, or as a minority-owned business, or as a veteran-owned business, there are millions, if not billions of dollars in grants available to you, and you do not have to repay them. Okay. And we go over that. We give you a list and we talk about that so you can get free money for your business. But the more important thing is because you need to know what to do with the money. So if I give you $90,000, what are you going to do with it? Are you just going to get one property and put down $80,000? Like, that's not smart. But what if I told you could get properties for $5,000 and $6,000 by doing subject to? Now you're talking. Now you're doing something. That's where you want to be. And then you keep the money so you have reserves. So you don't have to spend all your money. You have it in the bank. You have capital. You're able to get even more money because you have money in the bank. Like, it really just grows and grows. So go to growyourwealthevent.com right now. Get your tickets right now. Like I said, we're almost sold out. So we have like 80%. If you go to lock your spot, we have like 80% of the tickets are sold out. So you got to go right now. That's what I'm like, you got to go. It's almost sold out. So, and this is the last one for 2023. Okay. This is the encore. This is the last one. All right. So take advantage of it. Change your financial situation. Get your t-shirt. You want your t-shirt so you can start walking around claiming that your wealth is growing, because it is. You have to affirm to yourself that it is. And then, of course, I also send you this book, the Grow Your Wealth book, how to go from zero to rich investing in real estate. And what it really gets into is what I did in my parents' basement, which was not even wholesaling, which is co-wholesaling, where you work with another wholesaler and then you could just find a buyer or a seller. Like, you just buy, like, it's so crazy. It's so many ways to get paid. Like, literally, I wouldn't even have to find the properties. I could just take the list of properties that wholesalers already had and then find an investor that wanted to buy it by bringing those deals like to my real estate investor association meetings and stuff like that. And then the wholesaler would split the commission with me. So instead of 5,000 me getting, I would get 2,500 and they would get 2,500. And that's co-wholesaling. And you can do that right from your home. All right. And that goes right into this book. I teach you how to do that, because that's like one of the first things that I did when I had bad credit, no money, et cetera, et cetera. And then again, you just reinvest your money. You get $2,500, you keep 1,500 or 2,000 of it. You take $500 and you send out some more letters. You put out some more signs. You do some more, whatever it is that you did to get those deals, you just do more of it. That's it. Simple. It is so simple. Growyourwealthevent.com. I love you guys so much. I'm going to get off of here right now. Go to growyourwealthevent.com right now. This is to